Water. Good evening. Today is Monday, November 10th, 2025. It is 5:30 p.m. The Mid-Road Fire District Board of Directors will now call the meeting to order. A roll call.
Director
Stay here. Here.
Director Whiteman.
Here.
Director Director
Stand with me for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to one nation under indivisible, liberty and justice. Alright, first item today on the agenda is approval of the agenda, and it's like it's that we strike item 7D from the agenda tonight, as we are unable to continue with that. Objection to that?
A motion to approve the agenda with corrected item on 7D.
Second. Motion second, any further discussion?
Director Jones.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Director Collins. For today, we have Director McGowan,
Yes.
Director White,
Yes.
Director McGee,
Yes.
and Director Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried according to that way.
Down item number 3, approval of the minutes. Entertaining a motion to approve the minutes from.
Without objection.
I'll second. All right, a motion second. Only discussion, as I will abstain from voting tonight because I was not here. Therefore, I don't know if that's actually correct. So,
Video will live.
Please.
Yeah. Director McGowan,
Yes.
Director White,
Yeah.
and Director.
Yes.
Motion carried 3-0.
Moving down quickly to item number 4, Secretary Fair Report.
All right, currently, the last 2 outlays of money was for the waterproof storage case for the Starlink system and reimbursement to Director Jones for the TV case remote mic. Gave us a balance currently of $306,431.51. And in savings, we have a balance of $150, and that was just moved over there to keep that when we did that. So as far as Heather with finance, finally heard back from LGIP, and we've been approved, but they need some follow-up information as far as who's going to be listed that can do changes on the account or put monies in. So I made a copy for each person. What they want to know is what we're going to name the account. So we have to give them that information. Address of the district. So I imagine we'll be using the new office space at Station 2.
They need a physical address?
Yeah, they want a physical address. A statement address where they want the statements to go if different than the district address. That could be the PO box. Who will be listed on the account? At least 2 people needed. Their name, title, phone number, email address. What permissions will each individual have, such as view account only, view account information and perform transactions, open and close account, update banking information on the file. Need at least 2 people for that. And assign permissions to other contacts, and a statement, or just statement of receipt. And who will be the signer on the forms must have the ability to open and close accounts and sign permissions to other persons. So I don't know if we want to go with the same thing we have currently with Evergreen, where it's the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer. Make that decision, but I made it. Including Cassie's for stuff.
So you're saying that the permissions can be, each person has a different permission setting then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so if we're gonna do that, I need each one of you guys, just so I have everything, the exact name wise and spellings and everything. So the three of us will fill out this. You want to cast this with you? And this is the information I have. Yeah, we have to come up with, do we want to call it Mid-Road Fire District account? What do we want to put a name on it?
That's how District 6 is eligible, established as their name, like Fire District 6.
Alright, so we'll just do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's all I have, is get the information back from you guys, and I'll get that to them tomorrow.
Did they say any of this need to be in the minutes?
No,
Okay.
we just need the information, we've been approved.
Okay. I didn't know if we needed to make sure that we covered these in the minutes for them to make sure that.
No, there's nothing on that.
Then yeah, so we can do it without objection, just go with the Mid-Road Fire District. Address of the district, Chief Nelson, got a question for you on address for our district. This physical address, is there a way that we could utilize Station 2's address and add like maybe Suite 100 or something to it to create an actual separate physical address?
That's a good question. I have a feeling that would be something we'd have to ask the post office.
Well, I'm thinking basically just separating anything so that if mail arrives there or Mid-Road Fire District, your crew would know to put it in our office. Or do you get mail at that station?
We do. The easiest way might be just to advise, we'll let the crews know that anything that shows up for Mid-Road Fire District goes into that back office. We can put a, something to hold the mail on the outside of it so people don't have to go inside.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would work. That you could, as long as you're okay with this, you think that as a physical address for the district at this time.
Yeah.
What's the physical address of Station 2?
5566.
5566?
Thank you, sir.
And the zip code there?
975
26.
So we can use that in physical address so we can actually change. I think we have something currently in at your address for the physical address.
Yeah.
Is that the bank?
And I didn't receive anything.
Well, then everything. Yeah. So mailing address is PO box for the LPF as well. And then I guess we'll change that to banks.
Yeah.
So discussion on this, we're talking about the LPF account information. I agree that we should have 3 people with the full access because that keeps accountability for the 2. But I feel that we should have every director able to view the account information.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think that should be kept anywhere. Accountability, just looking at it, there's ever suspicion down the road.
Yeah.
So let's set ourselves up for the next directors that could be taking over for us. That this is the way we do it. Transparency is the best. So I would suggest we're all on it, we can just change the permission.
Yes. There we go, like that.
And the three of us would be able to change the permission.
The only reason I would suggest keeping 3, having full permission, is because there's a few things that says at least 2 people.
Yeah.
So if something was to happen to one of us, 2 people would still be able to keep.
They don't think it's such a locked vault, like they hold that account of the growth development, however, is outlined extremely tight.
But they're open to changes down the road if we have to make changes to director's position.
Absolutely.
Okay. So,
We'll stick with the 3 on the bank, the VP and the treasurer. And then everybody will have view account information. Okay. Any more discussion? Thank you, sir, for getting that taken care of, and we'll get this sorted out for you. All right. Moving on to the Secretary Treasurer report, we begin to item 5, comment. Do we have anybody in the public that wishes to have a comment tonight? Seeing that, we'll move right into item 6, old business. So item 6A is movement setup, and I believe it will be report to get.
Yes, so I did get a chance to go down to Station 2 with Chief Nelson. And the place looks great. Because looking for direction from the board as to what we're really utilizing the space for. I think originally it was file cabinet. I definitely recommend the opportunity on there for security, of course. But I didn't know to what extent if it was just used for storage. We have all of our IT equipment, the laptop, everything. Are we looking for a desk? Are we looking for monitors? So I think I was looking for direction from the board as to what exactly we're going to utilize that space for. Is it going to be the important? I think it's kind of a long jump for a conversation there, but I'm just trying to figure out what direction you want me to go in and to go that way.
I think the big thing to keep in mind if we're talking about hiring a district administrator is that we need to be able to have a place for them to go work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all that for them. We definitely don't want to put a out there to hire somebody and say, oh, by the way, you sit at the table.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say you definitely set it up right the first time. I know it's a small space from what I understand, but it's going to be for success.
Okay.
Change down the road.
So this chair, file cabinet.
Desk, chair, file cabinet, do we want to do?
Absolutely.
Printer. And then obviously office supplies, so paper, nets, et cetera, et cetera. What other big ticket items for an office space?
Probably a dump lamp.
Is that heated?
Yeah.
Just checking. Don't get a heater back there.
What about locking the door? Do we want to provide?
It doesn't happen on the side. I do believe that when I spoke to Chief, he said that it's something that's going to be done.
Well, let's get a combination. That's another big ticket.
Security.
Yeah, keep that.
But confidential information down into those files. It's down there, so it's in such a place location.
It'd be nice to have a key back on some keys out. Everybody.
All these should keep that.
Electronic or?
Yeah, you go from main house, and then you guys have a different code for the house.
They're running to the code for the, but not for the back. Well, the
Insulation exterior doors would be added to the same combo, and then your guys' office door would be something different.
okay, we need to do
Maybe something like that.
get a push button key code lock for that door. Okay.
And I would recommend we find out what they use, and we go down that road so that we have the same,
Yeah, it's pretty.
we're not doing something. It takes a whole different set of rules to get inside there. That would make some sense. Do we want to set a dollar amount for her to
Budget?
a budget?
I think we can trust that she's gonna be frugal.
Like the best decision.
Take it out of the
$1,200.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to throw a dollar amount out there, but
I think we have 300,000.
yeah.
So one button with a card, that would be.
Yeah.
Well,
They get ordered on, we can, now that Amazon is working, we can order Amazon if we need to.
I think if I can just kind of sit down, go through the list of it, and like reach out to somebody and say, here's what I want to be sufficient. So, yeah.
Sean.
Yes.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so,
See everybody. Say the thing. All right, any more discussion on office setup?
Thanks, Kevin.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, hearing none, we'll move into item 6B, district branding, and that's going to be you, sir.
So yeah, we found the stickers, we gotta fix a couple things on the stickers. Stickers are, let's say $4 a piece. I bought the first round just to get something in the hands to start with and make an idea. And that's the 4" by 4". The shirt, I ordered 2 Carhartt shirts, there's a full shirt, welcome to take a look and see if you like it. And then the button-up shirt, the reason I want to stick with Carhartt, the name brand, doesn't get shrink, to put stuff falling out. My suggestion would be we do 2 shirts per person, 1 polo, 1 button-up. The artwork is something, the artwork is $32 per person. So if each person is gonna have a setup fee and half, is that something we can,
and that's what's gonna go on?
I haven't figured that out with you guys. Do we have to pay $32 per director to get a name? Once that's gonna be on, we gotta get. Yeah, and that's just the setup fee. And then after that, $1 per 1,000 stitches, which I don't, it depends on what we decide to do. 32 per available fee. And so like, that's the name and then the $32 for the department logo. But we don't have to pay that for each person. Yeah, it's just one therapy.
So,
It's fee 32 setup fee, and then after that it's $1 per 1,000 stitches.
so it'll be 6 setup fees then.
Correct.
One for each name and then one for the artwork.
Yeah.
And then $1 per 1,000. But you don't know how many villages are in there.
I don't know how many, the guy that I used to add all of it, he was gone. So I couldn't. That we go with the Carhartt brand, whether you think it's color or not. We go with the Carhartt brand polo and t-shirt, lightweight, but not heavy in the summer. And they're 35 each coming directly in the design. So I'm asking that we just set a budget of $1,500 for shirts, and I'd like to try and get a hat. 30 persons.
Who's doing it, RJ?
I was in the hat RJ did. Yeah, he did all my hat stuff, and it was good.
Yeah.
Actually, his dad did all of it. So rather than come back with the price every 2 weeks, I was just gonna have for, let's spend $1,500 2 shirts. Hopefully that's enough to get a hat. Well, but that should cover the artwork as well. Roughly about, and I'm including Cassie as one of our, maybe, or leaders. Well, yes. Yeah. So,
we need to decide on the budget, color, and artwork.
Yep.
So, and we're just, we thinking just the, artwork on the front, name on the other side.
So because you're going with a name brand like Carhartt, some of them have their parody on the pocket and that. So I would do all right, some either the department here or named at the bottom pocket is what I would be looking at. The reason dress shirts, I don't want to do too much, make it flashy, just enough that people say, okay, that's who you're with. So our name would be small and then the department would be larger, be bigger. Same with the button shirt, you don't want to overdo it. You know, obviously these are uniforms, so if you package anything like that, but name and then our, because the car goes there and so it's nice to say in the moment society. The question I have, if you guys want the Maltese, which is going to be simpler than the full back, or do you want more?
I think the Maltese.
Okay. The only thought I have about that is we're not operational. So, and to me, the Maltese process kind of stuff has been in the fire service as the operation, the guys doing the work. I don't know. I just kind of thought that maybe we should carry the Maltese on our shirts. It should just take it on fire.
What does your board have?
They wear the same exact thing and branding or something.
Right. For that.
I believe Chief owns, I believe your board has your logo on their shirt as well, correct? Maybe you're not there.
Please report.
Yeah.
So that, I'm good with both ways. Because this, the Maltese is very traditional fire service and stand up.
And if we do, so maybe we do the board, do the Maltese with, Director.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Director Jones versus Director Mark.
Okay, there you go. Director Jones, yeah.
Just so we'll call them real calls so people.
Yeah. Just thinking we could do board of directors, the Maltese or everything, but.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah. We need a
So I'm out there, without objection, I'd like to spend $1,500 on get new shirts and they're colors. So.
any more discussion on it?
Send it.
If you like the colors of shirts, but not blue, black. This is called black, but it's more of a dark gray.
I actually like the gray.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. We'll make it happen. The goal is to try and get a shirt in your guys' hands before training. So,
Before the conference.
yes.
So,
So you all try to get here for you. This is better connection.
It is the 19th.
You think you can get all that done? I got the shirt. And I forwarded it as would be in the so yeah. So again, go get it done. Okay, thanks, guys.
Now you don't have to spend the full day.
No.
Thank you, sir, for taking care of that. All right, that ends our old business, so moving on to new business, and we'll start off with committee reports. Go into Director McGowan for any updates on staffing, or is that going to be later this evening? Okay, and then the next one for you would be training.
So everyone should have received that email. I haven't had a confirmation that anybody has or has not, but there's been a challenge. We've been assigned, I believe, 2 assignments that are mandatory for board of directors. And those were auto assigned when it created the accounts. So you should have those when you log into your target vector solutions now. And it's very straightforward how to start those courses. It just has a button that says start now. And you can Okay, there are 3 parts.
Okay, it's like a quick 1 minute part and then big thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it, okay.
One was it?
And once those are completed, then there's 4 total courses for district board of directors that are mandatory through SDO, SDS, so those will be automatically assigned. Other than that, I don't see us having additional trainings for quite some time, unless there's other things that the board brings they'd like to get some further education or training on, but those 4 courses is quite a lift. If you haven't started them, that one that we're in right now is quite lengthy.
Yeah.
Nothing further to report.
I noticed on there that there's other ones you can go in and send grass, sell student to gas. And moving into communications, Director Whiting and myself, and we have not met, discussed anything on that yet, so we'll probably get back and get together for some communications with the public.
I'm leaving on the 19th, decide to drive back to Orlando, and then be back on the 24th.
Meeting or?
For the Memorial.
No, but we have a meeting for.
Yeah, I'll be back on.
Chief Holmes said that all of those board of directors were the same, they all have the same brand. Yeah, he said. Sure. Thank you.
Policy and procedure, or being itself. Put that on hold until we have an administrator. And then the fire prevention committee.
So, I never tried to get together to have a meeting, and I got ill, so we couldn't meet, but I'm kind of glad that we waited. We have a meeting set up now for December 1st with State Farm Marshal at Parkway Station at 1 o'clock, and we're going to discuss with them the HJ. Basically, the intent is if we do anything outside of what their code is, then they can't do enforcement within our district. So they want to talk to us, present to us why we're keep it the same, because then they can benefit. So we're going to go in and sit down with them, talk that out, so we'll have more to report after that meeting.
And the last one is the consideration committee, Director Whiting and myself, and I believe at this point in time, we can dissolve that. Okay? Agree. All right, we will dissolve that committee. Move out of committee reports. And move into item 7B, which is budget committee positions. So, I sent it in the packets. Basically, the proposed public announcement. Did you all get a chance to read that? So basically, we're coming up on budget season pretty soon, and then there's a process. We need to open this up to the public to find by members of the public. So then, once the application process, we go through it. We have 20 items. I believe start in the end of February or 1st of March to start that budget process for next year. So it may take some time to get 5 members of the community to join us. So I thought we could probably start with this now. So if everybody's good with the public announcement, we can start putting it in there and start this process.
Yeah, I thought pretty good.
That needed to be
No, yeah.
okay.
Do we want to look at creating a link on the website that they can apply
By
that way versus a letter? I mean, I'm good with this too, just, is there,
I mean,
advantage being able to fill it out, send it, and not have to.
I think a letter of interest, actually, a physical letter of interest would be better because then someone would put the file together as well. Keep a hard copy of it. I don't know what's the thought for us to make that decision. Set it up where they can apply online.
I think there's some value to the online potential, not to completely eliminate that need to communicate why they have, what their why is behind wanting to be on budget committee. It might simplify it for some people, but I don't know that it needs to be a hard, fast, yes, we need an electronic option to apply. But it may be smoother for some people that have interest to apply online. I just hit the apply now button.
Would it be easier to keep it this way this time and look at putting it on next year?
That's, I guess, the other piece of that is what does it take to set it?
Yeah, that's one thing.
I can give this around and see if we can create another form. Certain form, we can create certain forms in that operating system. Some of them require a fee to create those forms, and so I'm kind of keeping out the costing us anything. But let me see.
I was just thinking about when the three of us applied for this year's.
We submitted
online, we printed it out, and we resubmitted it in.
We emailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we could do that.
We can print it one at a time. Just something to think
Do
about.
that too. That might be just a reader for them to print out, fill out, and then submit it via email.
There would be some charge for however the system would work to apply, treat, process an application online.
All right.
That'd be good.
Okay. All right. I'll look into that and have something by next meeting.
Yeah, very.
Right.
Thanks for putting that together.
All right, moving out of item 7B into 7C, SDIS renewal update form. We just need to make sure we're all in agreement, and then we can submit it, and this is for the basically for 2026. So, and it's really hard to read because to print the whole thing on here, it made it really small. If you all have a chance, basically, it's putting our information and then put our district emails this time, keeping all the rest of the information the same. Just carried over the same number that we had for coverages. Nothing's changed. We haven't bought any property. We have no vehicles. We have.
We can consider that one piece. In future discussions, we start to move with executive director and hire that position, we should consider providing them a vehicle to travel. We'll talk more about that with the recommendation from SBAO, and I also see that very relevant. We're going to have them doing district business. They should have some form of district. Plus, I mean, yes, could they want to get too in the weeds, but could they use? They are also paying insurance and liability for themselves and their vehicle and the potential issues by district work and their. Yeah.
Right. And so that position will be a contracted position, correct?
We're going to have discussion about that.
Okay. I think if we do that, then we would have to have a policy in place to cover the contracted employee and the district's vehicle. So that would be something we would have to change with SDIS also.
I think we're going to have to go down that, but yes, yeah, I understand. And I feel like we need to provide
For now, though, until we get that vehicle and have it, we you want to submit this as is, because we can always make changes later. They just needed something now for the projection of 2026.
Have to wait 5 and 9. Yeah. We can make adjustments throughout the year.
That was,
What they did last year.
they programmed it.
We sent them an update on the name change, but they still have just.
I see that, yeah. So we talked about that. He said when we send this in, they'll get all the new, the email changes, but we're still using the old emails also, so. Once we update it, and then, I'll submit it all again with another name change verification. But they changed it in SBAO, SBAO was changed it to the Monroe. Any directions other than the possibility of adding auto insurance? Is there any other issues on there that need to be changed? Submit that then. If that. Moving down.
Do we need to scratch E as well? Since we scratched E.
No, we can still discuss E because, and we'll do that now. So because in our director's policy, it doesn't specify the actual process, and actually ORS, was it 198, something or other. Anyway, it doesn't specify a process either. It leaves it pretty vague. And it basically says we could just appoint somebody. However, I believe we should actually have a process and put it out, allow an application time, and then have a pool of people to choose from instead of just appointing somebody. I think it should go out to the public.
So if I was reading this correctly, there were basically two options for appointing a vacant position. That we do the same process, the interview and deliberation, or the appointment. And the interview and deliberation is the same process as what you just outlined, the application and the interview, et cetera.
Yeah, but our current policy says that we could just appoint somebody without doing any interview process, without doing an application process. So that's why I was saying we need to put something in place
That we follow.
make sure that it's, because that one just says we can just appoint somebody. It doesn't give us the process. It's really short. Yes.
From my quick research on it, it's a little different being a board for a district.
Yeah.
So, for the county, it's a little bit more in depth. You do have to post it, you are required to have it filled within 30 days. There's a timeline set on that. It's very loose here for a district. And I think that even though the ORS allows that freedom, I need to have a policy and be able to continue off of a policy instead of it changing every single time. It just allows for something steady.
Yeah, because our current policy is about this long, and it references the ORS, and it basically just says we can appoint.
Yeah.
And so I think that there should be a process that we follow, be the application process. First, obviously the announcement, the application process and all that, so that when we do have an opening, we have something in place. Follow. So this is just some stuff for everyone to think about. It's not the actual policy. We can agree with the actual policy. These are just suggestions.
So the step-by-step operational process to fill or appoint a board member, is just information?
Yeah, well, this is for us to discuss. If we want to go by this step-by-step operational process, then we can put that into a policy. Right now, it's just an information packet option that we have, so we can do that one, or we could just do,
Okay, I read this is ORS.
no,
I was reviewing it today, I'm like, ORS, these is pretty clear.
yeah, no, this is just a process that we can put in place. And it references, different, ORSs. I think the one, 198.320 only requires appointment by the board.
It doesn't say the process,
Yeah,
it's a very term.
yeah. And that's why I just thought it'd be better to have, something more solid. So if you like, the policy committee can, in fact, create the actual policy for it, and then we'll add it, as an amendment into our board policy. Like that.
I think that's a key thing that I'd like to actually say, do the job, because everyone knows that we need to have that. The only thing in the word time, right now we're doing every 2 week meetings, so we can hit that pretty easy. But down the road, if we're only doing 1 month meeting, that's literally, this meeting, we get notified that someone resignated. Now we're going to 30 days before we actually start the process, and we're doing 30 days before we. So I'm concerned with the timeline getting up,
Right.
getting too long down the road.
Down the road, so you could do a special meeting.
Okay.
That,
Okay.
and then,
Yeah, I don't think 30 days is bad, it's just concerned down the road to long be.
well, we could do, yeah, well, it's minimum 14 to 30 calendar days, so, I think the 14 would be good.
What some be out there, the vacancies posted.
Right, so we posted for 14 days.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good process.
So if you want, you and I get together and work on creating this little amendment to our policy.
Any other suggestions on it? That's good.
I just agree, we just word the points.
Yeah. It's not just us, it's the future.
Yeah.
There's a need to have a
So moving now to news. Going into correspondence, did we receive any emails or letters?
No.
Only email received was from Amazon saying we could reinstate it, so.
We haven't had
Okay, any additional matters from the board?
I just wanted to ask Kathy, do you have everything you said to do what you're doing? Is there anything else you need from logistics, supplies, materials, space, time?
I think I'm still for what, but I'm excited to get done with this speed up and hopefully I can utilize that as one for. Depending, of course, on the filling of the executive position. Thank you for speaking.
Anything? Hearing none, we will move into the executives. So today is Monday, November 10th, 2025. Time is 6:14 p.m. The Midway Fire District will now meet in executive session for the following agenda items, which is employment matters, or 92.600, section 2, subsection. Accredited representatives of the news media and designated staff shall be allowed to attend the executive session while the members of the audience are asked to be. Accredited representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on or otherwise disclose any of the deliberations or anything said about the subject during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. No decision may be made in the executive session at the end of the executive session. Return to open session and welcome friends back. Accredited representatives of the news media, please identify yourself. If you have none, so the reporter and other including cell phone are now turned and
And so